Hello everyone, ladies, gentlemen, and those who know better. This is Derpy, and welcome to my Hold Fast July raid stream. I'm going to be going over all the targets in the raid, starting out with the lowest ones and then finishing out with the highest ones. If you're watching this back later, feel free to skip forward to whatever one you want, although I think it is pretty important to understand what everyone is going against in this game, even lower levels here. So we have the bottom set is the C set with Pegasus, which is, as normal, probably recycled targets, then the Riots in the B set, and then Zealots are in the A set. Again, this thing does have 3 targets needed to complete it, so probably it's going to be best just to do the 80 or 82, whichever one you have least damage on, and then ignore the 408 completely, unless this is a really good target that's been tuned down. And then the S set is the standard set for the Mutineers. You get 1 million points for doing this thing. If you want another bonus on top of that, completing both the S set already and the X set additionally, so 4 targets will get you another 1.25 million points after you completed the basic one already. So if you complete these top 4 targets, you'll get 750,000 plus 500,000 plus 1 million. So 2.25 million for an entire X set versus just 1 million for an S set. But that's enough talking. Let's just go out there, hit some targets, have some fun, right? That's what this is about. So the Pegasus, I don't think I'm going to use a crew on this thing. Just going to launch it out and play around with this thing. Now these things should pay out like 5,000 points per target. Not a big deal. Probably not worth it here. Looks like the map targets, these siege targets are still spawning here, so things the resource targets still spawning haven't despawned yet. Let's go through the locator, find ourselves one of these basic ones, and see if we can get the performance working a little bit better, finding everything nicely. Now this thing's probably going to take me halfway across the sector, but yeah, completely new spot. There'll be a minute to get there. Let's see if we can find one closer when we're on the way, because I don't want to go halfway across the map to hit level 40. It looks like my Mega is protected there. Very nice. Haven't touched that in forever. When was the last time any of you used a Mega? Certainly been a while for me. Welcome to everyone in chat here for getting into it. Thank you for the good luck wishes. I hope that I won't need good luck. Hope it's a pretty easy raid and I've been fairly well prepared. And we do have a lot of fun stuff here. A lot of points will be needed, so be warned, you're going to need millions and millions of points if you want to stay caught up as a high-level player. Even to catch up, you'll need even more, which is, pretty painful. Now, why are there none of these targets on the entire way closer? There were really no Chimera's Nest targets out on the very beginning bit. Let's see, who said hey? Ladycat said hey, Apple Ducky, Greg said hey, Hammer, Jason, Bouncer. Why haven't I used the Mega Jenna? Because I don't like it. It's not fun. Yeah, I did think I fixed my stream quality today. It should be frames per second, should be a little bit better. I think my Wi-Fi was down last time. Well, a little monkey repair around there. Okay, we have seen this target before. Let's see if I can go ahead and get everything formatted correctly. Great. 30 frames per second in bottom left corner. That looks great to me. Let me know if you have any sort of interruptions in chat. Appears to be going fine on my second screen there. I'm just going to drive this thing stacked, no reason to tank, and the main thing I'm going to do here is target these Tempest missiles, then let the little Scourge ships chase you while you kite them. That's essentially what you want to do on this thing, and you can ignore the anti-missiles. I'm not sure if you can even bring Zealots into this one, but might be worth trying out here. Going to trigger that Scourge ship and then run away. This was an S target in the raid that the Pegasus was the best in, and of course we've seen it in TLC since then. Now this ship is really slow. Do you see the turn speed on this thing? It's ridiculously slow. Okay, well, there we go. Now, yeah, comparing this target doing my Pegasus with my Zealots, and in the TLC, Zealots work this thing really, really nicely, so basic target here. Try to outrange these Tempest launchers right here. Whichever one they're actually called, you'll do best. And I do have my flagship not quite equipped quite correctly still, and this fleet's about to be completely obsolete. All lower levels should have this one because you can get it from the Forsaken Mission chests. So if you're a lower level, hitting the level 40 with this thing, might not be a horrible way to go. But I don't know what you're going to get with the 20,000 points per set from this particular event. Let's see, kite another couple of ships here, and let's see if we can turn around and dodge something. There we go. Okay, 3 more missiles to kill here. And this has been a while since this target has been out. Hey, Rat Dog. Hey, Pav. See the Crow Alliance showing up here? I probably hit some of your bases. Some of you've hit my base. Some of you've got in. Okay, Pegasus. Let's row faster. Turn up the engines. Come on. And pivot sideways. Get the couple launches off from the port and starboard side desolation wings. Take that thing down pretty nicely. We do have one of these stonefish incoming from the top of the target here. See if we can kite that thing out here, and we should just be about fast enough to dodge the damage. I sort of do wish I did have something like Hyper 30 on these things, so I'd just be a little bit faster, because look at that, it's just too slow, so it's just barely avoiding the damage. Bam, there we go. I'm using HTML5 right now at 30 frames per second. You can see it's working great. Maybe it's a little bit fuzzy, although YouTube probably does more for losing the quality than HTML5 does. Personally, I have found it to be working better for me, and it does take patience, and it didn't work like this at the very beginning. And some people, it's still unplayable. And if it's unplayable for you, then don't play it. But I have found HTML5 to be much better than Flash. Okay, we're getting attacked from 2 sides here. Desolation wings. Bam, bam, there we go. How's the stream quality doing? Can you watch this in HD? I think I have it set to 1080p as availability. Shouldn't be buffering or lagging too much like it was last time. Last time I was getting like 3 frames per second. Let's ignore that stonefish at the very top, move off to the right side, and once we kill these things, it should trigger that one up there. So that's what my plan will be. Gotta get through these targets fast because we have the Mutineer targets coming up at the very end. Ooh, turn speed still on this thing. Come on, use the desolation wing. Get him. There we go. Okay, this stonefish at the top should trigger when the one on the right side does. Yeah, Nemesis X should be able to do this one, especially because it has a longer range. The Saturn also is a possibility, although I don't think you're going to get quite close to instant repair. Looking like this, I'll probably be instant repair for this target, maybe a tiny bit over. And that's even without the damage potentially being reduced, which it has been in previous events when they've recycled the bottom target. They've tuned down the damage a little bit, so Nemesis X should work, although it's going to be a lot slower to kill it. Even this is a very large target, very slow fleet. Overall, my thoughts on this target, it's a recycled one. There's nothing broken about it. I do wish they'd made something that was a little bit easier to auto, maybe a little bit smaller. Put in some bonus fuel to boost this Pegasus. If you're doing a lower level hitting this target, it's going to be so slow anyway. You're not even going to want to bother with this thing. It's just so boring to do this target. Instant repair, 5,000 points. If you are interested, here is my build. Flagship is a tank, and then the other ones do have Hyper 30. I have an engine and Hyper 30, and they're still slow. Other ones are all built as damage ones, 3 of one CIC, and then 1 of the other CIC. Let's see, let's go ahead and get level 42 target. Should be one right next to there, right? If I just hit a 40, 42 should be right there. And I'm not going to go in base and repair. No, you don't want to see me instant repairing. That's not very useful. This should be the last one in the C set, then we'll move on to the B set with the riots, which should be at least a little bit more fun, right? Oh, okay, this is the target that was in the pillage for quite a while here. This was the old 129 for assault and pillage, and this was pretty standard to hit. You could just drive against the ships right here and then auto everything else. I didn't repair, so I'm still at 14 minutes. Damage should be fairly easy to get this thing still within a reasonable repair time. I'm going to just kill that first row of turrets. I want to go for that second cluster right here, but I'm not going to. Let's see, park the flag, use that as a tank. Try and keep moving here and don't get backed up into a corner too early, because that's what was happening. And again, this is Kixeye recycling another target that was previously introduced as an S set in the raid. I think that's sort of boring, lazy, I don't know, but these are completely optional. Higher levels can ignore these, but lower levels might be worth it, especially if you don't have a riot fleet. But I think that's offered in the FM chest at this point, right? or the riot is offered in the campaign, whereas the silverfish is in the FM chest. Okay, more things are coming out more ships are coming out here. I need to make sure I'm still using the tank. Try and get that one hit, so the splash damage only hits one ship instead of all 5. Okay, another couple ships here. Turn back and forth, come on. Come on, there we go. Use the desolation wings. Port or starboard, which one is it? Hey Glenn, how you doing? Yeah, Apple Ducky, I would not want to try a Saturn or Nemesis X in this thing. The ships just overwhelm you. Even with my Pegasus, I get backed into a corner. You can't kite things, you can't deal with it easily like you could before. Difficult to use Saturns or Nemesis X here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and press auto, press S, put things on auto. That won't have my ships doing quite a great job because the flagship may become stacked up with everything else and it may not be targeted primarily, and it does have more missile survival. But what this does, I can just ignore it, walk away, do whatever else. And unfortunately, the desolation wings don't fire when I do this, so it is something to keep in mind. You are going to have slightly slower time to kill the target, maybe a tiny bit of an increase in repair time, but it will be around instant repair. Maybe the flagship will have 10 minutes damage on this thing. But there's no skill involved in this target once you kill the fleet. You can literally do it on auto. Zoom in here, get a little bit of a closer look at this thing. I don't have any skins equipped for this on my Pegasus fleet. I did have the Batmobile skin, but I found it cumbersome to use because the hitbox was just too big in the dock. Yeah. I'll check after I complete this target dynamite if Zealots can do this target, because they can do this thing really easy, probably auto instant repair. And again, not worth it for 5,000 points, but what the hell? Why not try it or know that it's an option? Now, Zealots are Zealots tier 9 or tier 8.5. Okay, another turret cluster to kill here, and auto actually does a pretty good job of only engaging one thing at one time, whereas opposed to driving, you might get a little bit over ambitious, park yourself right about here, get hit by 2 or 3 different turret clusters at one time. I'm going to drive the rest of this thing, just get it done a little bit more quickly. Maybe I'll be a little bit over ambitious, we'll see. If I zoom in, it will look like my Pegasus fleet's faster, right? That's how this works. Targeting the building just to get it out of the way. Tank it a little bit ahead of everything else. Stay inside the range of everything to get all the friendly boosts. That's what you want to do. Flagship again a little bit ahead. In range of everything here. And I can walk away at this point too if I want to. Let's swing around the desolation wings, get another blast or 2 off. Now, if you do increase multi-shot, you can make this thing work better. Have 2 blasts instead of 1. But there's that target, though. There is the level 42 target done. Thoughts on this target is this is a really nice one, better than the level 40 in my opinion in terms of autoing, in terms of time to kill, in terms of ease of driving. I like this one just a little bit more. Damage taken went from 14 minutes up to 24, so 10 minutes damage. And most of this damage is on the flagship, just be aware of that. Okay, there's that target then. Let's get the riots out. Move on next to the B-set targets. And no one comes to my fleets, okay? Not that you can because they're PvE fleets, but... Let's see here. What do I want to hit? The 60s. No, not the Zealot targets. Here we go, 60 and 62. We have to do them in order, right? That's like a requirement. Oh, there's people out here hitting the new targets. The 120, 122. That's called a sneak peek or exclusive preview, as I would prefer to say it, right? Yeah, Paul, I am doing the big targets just at the end after I finish the lower ones. We're going from bottom to top. The top targets will be done. Just hold on a little bit. We're getting there. That's my primary intention of doing these things. Okay, the level 60 riot target, and this is the free Kixeye fleet, not upgraded, still use 0, nothing changed. This is the level 133 in pillage, so Starting off on the right side, moving to the left, trying to dodge the torpedoes. If you can, you shift-click to select the holes, the actual ships, instead of the torpedoes to kill them a little bit more easily. And I just about got that one with the junk jets. We're able to finish off the target there. Again, try and keep moving, avoid sharp turns, especially if any sort of the Hellwraith Fire Twister torpedoes are coming at you, because those things do deal pretty insane splash damage, explosive damage. If you do this target 100% correctly, you can avoid all of the explosive damage you would usually take, but it is pretty hard to do that. You do get lucky. I do have the 5 Cormorant anti-torpedoes on here. Do I even have... No, I don't have any anti-torpedoes on here. So I've got no chance to shoot down any incoming torpedoes, be that the regular ones or the Fire Twister ones. Every torpedo that comes at me may have a chance to miss my ship due to evade, but I'm not going to shoot any down, which is why one of the reasons why my primary fleet does perform better. And the Cormorant anti-torpedoes are things that I do help. Now, they only have 60% accuracy, which you can't boost through any sort of means, any sort of specials, which is something that we're running into with our Mutineer fleets. So just keep that in mind. If you do have Cormorants, how defenses work is you shoot at the torpedo first, and even the ones that potentially miss still get shot at. So you do have to make sure you have enough anti-torpedoes with enough reload time to kill everything, and they do reduce your damage by about 60% if they are effective and actually do fire against everything. This target, pretty easy to complete. Seen it before. Okay, damage taken, about even, concussive and explosive, and 32 minutes damage. Most damage, interestingly, on ships 2 and 5, so that's something to keep in mind this entire raid cycle. What ship is actually getting more damage? I thought it was going to be 1 and 5. From this target, looks like it might actually be 2 and 5. Not going to bother repairing this thing. Let's go ahead and move into level 62 Reaver Junk Bay. Then we'll pull out the Zealots after this one. In fact, let's get the Zealots out on the map. Okay. Level 62, this was previously a raid target again. This is another one of the driving raid targets, and we just saw this in the TLC that we did to get the Mutineer upgrade tokens, the Mutiny on the Bounty TLC. I'm going to kill these first 2 Reaver scout ships by driving in large circles, staying in range, maybe using my junk jets if possible, but if you keep moving, you should avoid pretty much all of the damage, because this is again all splash-based damage from these particular ships. Once those are dead, let's go ahead on the left side, or the right side of this target, and zoom in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger this Hellwraith, and then as soon as it starts moving, I'm going to pull it over one of these mines, and that will reduce the points I get from this target, but will also mean that I take less damage. So this thing is going to pull over the mines, make sure I don't shoot any of the mines with my junk jets, and this should take explosive damage as it moves down this path here. That'll just be, again, easier to kill. Okay, it's about half health, a little bit weaker. It's not above water anymore, so it's slightly harder to kill, and it's not stunned, but perfect, I have that down. And then the Reaver Scout ship is pretty easy to counter, and you already have really high resists for concussive specifically on your holes here. Okay, now that that's down, let's go ahead and focus on the another one to the left. This one is not going to move if you stay at max range, and it will be surface, so I can just sort of stay around here. It's okay to double back on yourself as long as there's no torpedoes actually shooting at you at that time. There we go, that one is down. Let's move on to the next one, and you're going to have to kite this one, move out to the right here. Maybe try and trigger one of these closer torpedo towers, but other than that, shift-click the actual Hellwraith to make sure it dies. That one went down fairly quickly here, and up to the top of the target. These do start moving at you. They are a little bit more difficult, and try and make sure only one of them gets triggered at the beginning. The pancake is activated, the Hulk is activated, smart torpedo is coming. As soon as the smart torpedo starts moving at you, you have to start moving perpendicular like a T-shape to its path here. Okay, Hellwraith number whatever else is down, and the scout is incoming. As soon as the smart torpedo fires, I'm going to turn around, back on myself, and try and dodge the path so it keeps coming. It can't turn fast enough, and just misses me, take no damage. These things will be firing some explosive things at me, some mortars, and I can shoot those down with my personal riot fleet, not the free one, because it doesn't have enough countermeasure range. Another nice dodge on the smart torpedo there, if I do say so myself. Spin around to get the junk jets in range and finish off the pancake. Finish off the Hulk. Okay, let's see, just another couple cluster of ships in these targets. I'm going to go ahead and try and kill the Hulk from outside the clouds, then these bottom ones, and then finally the top ones up here. Zooming in here. Okay, it's active, incoming missiles, incoming smart torpedo. Just try and get the range on it, although it does like to dodge around and move. Spin around, use the junk jets if possible. I'm going to stay stopped and see if I can't get everything down here. It just got away from me, not quite. Look, oh nice, junk jets finished it off, perfect. Scrap spitters, whatever you want to call them. And if you don't go into these yellow clouds because you will take a little bit more damage. There's something I have noticed is the boundaries on the yellow clouds, the visual boundaries, not the actual hitbox, not the actual damage area, does look a little bit different on HTML5 and Flash. So that's something to keep in mind for these particular targets. Okay, now I'm going to kill these two in the middle right here, and once these two launch, these three on the right will go up around the top. These two in the middle are going to go down here. Again, try and keep moving, because if you keep moving, you will avoid all of the concussive splash damage from these things, if you're fast enough, that is. Now, these things are a lot faster than the Pegasus, so that's a pretty nice thing. I do have my browser window zoomed out slightly here, so you can see more of the target when I'm zoomed out, which is something that I find is helpful. Okay, these three targets here, one went up to the top and two went down on the left, so let's go ahead and follow them down, kite them out here, use the junk jets, and this is the B-set. The 62 target, these things pay out slightly better points-wise, although they're still not good, and you can't do your raid farming 100 or 200 of these things like you could in the past. At least I haven't done that in a while. I'd be curious if anyone else has, because, you know, with the Seawolf, with battlecruisers, you could hit 100 of the medium-level targets and be done with the raid. Not really possible anymore, is it? Victory, yep, I know. Okay, now let me out of the target. I have to go to map. Repair time went up from 34 minutes to 52 minutes. Damage went up fairly consistently across everything. Ships 2 and 5 are still being targeted a little bit more often, so there we have it. This is the free Kixeye riot fleet. No changes made to anything that they had, although the Alloy Armor CX here is a complete waste, and you should use the Signal Amplification Armor instead, and also put on Anti-Torpedo. That's my personal recommendations. And you can always use a better engine. Even at this point, if you do have the Liberty Belt, you can update the Advanced Concussive Payload 3 for the Liberty Belt. Let's go ahead and recall that thing and find our Zealots. Now, these should be a little bit more fun to hit, shouldn't they? Yeah, 15 million when you get 5,000 points. Not worth it now, is it? Oh, I did tell you I was going to check on the damage from the C-set, the 42, see what I could actually take in there. Should get 100,000 for the B-set, so 100,000 points. Not sure if that's worth it. Let's see, the 40 and 42, you can take in any tier you want. So the low set, you can take in anything. Yeah, I remember that. Even Interceptors, Conquerors, so maybe I'll try my Warhounds in this thing later. Does that sound like a bad idea or a good idea? It's 5,000 points, it literally does not matter. Well, that's, not the 601, that's part of the X, or that's part of the X set. X is in, let's see, what do we want, level 80? Come on. Kixeye, I want you to spawn the targets in a line right next to my base. I don't have to go anywhere. Level 80. Now again, remember what I said at the beginning, you want to just pick the level 80 or 82, whichever one you can do for the least damage. Ignore the 408 completely unless it turns out to be a really good one, which, you know, I'm doubtful. Here's my build, it's fairly standard here. The 1st and 5th ship are built up a little bit differently with more of the missile survival, and the 5th ship is also a countermeasure ship, and that's the only one that does have a countermeasure special. Okay, here we go. We have seen this thing before, have we not? This was the 100 target in the first raid. Now, what you'll notice right here is my drones are spawning. If they're not spawning, just press S and they'll get there. I do only have 2 ships up to X1. I almost have enough tokens on the flagship. By the time this raid is over, the flagship will be X1 and probably only have 1 remaining ship at U3. circle around here much faster, try and blast these ships right here. Alice carriers should go down pretty quickly. Keep moving here, try to avoid much of the corrosive damage, and don't get too close. Outrange some of these scattergun turrets right here, and I don't want to trigger that group. Oh well, trigger the PT cruisers, that means I have to kill them. Again, try and focus the Alice carriers. These are so much faster than the Pegasus, much more entertaining, am I right? Let's see, Absolver scatterguns, Drag scatterguns, whatever they're called, need to go down. Try to outrange those. Halo missiles are the next priority, and you can kill these purple buildings to weaken the defenses of everything else around there. So just keep that in mind. And then once all the scattergun turrets are down or outranged, you can drive a little bit slower. Moving on to the next turret cluster, going to kill the scattergun at the beginning, then the purple building. Once that purple building is down, the Halo missiles are the next threat until the Alice carriers are triggered, because those are, a little bit difficult to kill. Okay, Alice carriers are triggered, now that means I have to keep moving. Try and splash those, see if you can get other things at the same time, and hopefully your countermeasures aren't overwhelmed. I should be shooting down 100% of the missiles from the Sentinels, because they are, again, because that is why I have that one countermeasure ship in my fleet. Let's see, let's outrange some ships here. Alice carrier, a couple of shots. Oh, these things are so much faster than the Pegasus, and I'm zoomed in too, which makes them seem like they're moving faster, right? Okay, the scattergun got off a shot there, but I was moving at full speed, at full frenzy, so that really didn't do anything. I believe I dodged all of that. Okay, moving on to the right side of the target here. Kill the purple building and then everything else. And let's do a quick damage check across all 5 holes. They all have even damage, which is 100% expected, as these Halo missiles have targeting sort of like what I would call the Tempest launcher in your base, the radioactive one. It targets the highest health ship. That's what these things do. Kill a couple of these missiles here. I'm going to try and get these halos and then head off to the left side across these PT boats just so my frenzy stays up and stays strong, and avoid the Alice carriers right there. Now, I did believe the Alice carriers were targeting ships 1 and 5 more often, which is why those have a slightly more penetrative build. Stand at max range here, blasting that PT boat, and the missiles from these things, if you think they are green, I guess the developers say they're gray, they're still doing penetrative damage, at least according to the testing and info that we do have. Great. Blast the Alice carriers. Super fun target to drive, although you do enter at a fixed point, so it is very possible to auto this thing. Maybe a scattergun shot there, but not worth it. No major damage on that target, am I right? Oh, they took away the Everest upgrade kits? That's I'm not sure if that really did anything because we didn't have the upgrades. They'll introduce the upgrades in a month or 2 months to make the hull a little bit stronger then. Increase the life cycle of the hull is my guess. I'd like an official briefing, some sort of information on that. But there's no reason to have the Everest upgrade kits in there if we can do it for... If we don't have the Everest to begin with, and we'll get plenty of time to get them when they actually come out. I already need millions of points in this raid, so I wasn't gonna get any anyway. Maybe I would have gotten like one 50-day thing just so I could upgrade 4 ships to U1 or something. And yeah, Mutineers do have to go up to X1, and let me tell you, the X1 upgrade looks very, very powerful. Okay, let's we're going to go ahead and repair my zealots so they can just, fix a little bit nicer. Should be instant repair, 5 minutes on each. 4 minutes, 39 seconds. Gonna go ahead and put on a holding screen when that happens, just so I can take a break and drink some water. Okay, don't worry, I'm back. Okay, that was the first zealot target. Gonna be hitting the second one fairly quickly. I want to double check the raid store, see if anything changed. Let's see if I can start those. Yeah. I'll start those repairing after I get this last zealot right. just in case riots turn out to be useful in any sort of way. Might be worth it to take into the top targets. Okay, that was the auto target, the level 80 for the Zealots. Let's try the level 82. Hey, look at that, right next to my base. Perfect. And while that's loading in, let's see if we can load the upgrade kits. I'll check those later. But there's no reason for those really to be in the game in the first place. I think they were put in accidentally, old copy-paste job from the last browser UI, whatever that was. Okay, we are entering in the target that looks like the level 112, if I remember correctly. This does matter where you enter from. I entered from the bottom right and immediately hit the Alice carrier. Let's see, kill that first Valkyrie carrier. Perfect. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to stay at max range of both the Alice carriers and the Valkyries. And for the Valkyries, try and enter in some place where you won't go over the red field. Alice carrier's down. Let's go ahead, kill the Absolver scattergun. It did get a couple shots off at me there. It is difficult for me to actually drive this thing correctly all the time. Now that that's done, let's focus on the buildings, kill the purple auras here, and outrange everything possible. Kill the purple buildings first, makes things weaker. That's sort of what we want, right? Ooh, took a glancing red blow here. Let's see, there is the PT Cruiser in this target, is there not? Not the PT Cruiser. The boat, the Warbird carrier that spawns the PT boats. Okay, blast a couple things here. I wish these Halo missiles didn't keep shooting at me. I can't quite reach them. The range is just not good enough. Okay, it starts moving in the top there. That means that PT boats are going to come at me. So I'm going to have to start killing those pretty quickly. Stay at max frenzy here. There was the other one. I should have killed that one on the left. Oh well. Couple shots to take this one down on the right. Should stay at max frenzy. Don't trigger the Alice carrier yet. And see if you can keep moving in little circles. Keep the drones active. Now, I wish the drones would have killed those things. If you are shift-clicking targets before the drones spawn, they will respond. They're very difficult to control, impossible to control once they're already on the map. It needs to be beforehand. Well, look at that. The Valkyries are showing us 4 fields instead of 1 now. I don't know why. It seems a little bit confusing. Although my performance in these targets is much better than it was before, so that's a really good thing. You know, that raid cycle was getting like 5 frames per second. Now I'm getting consistently 23, 30, whatever else. And YouTube, I think I'm doing 30 FPS, maybe 60 FPS on YouTube. And this is HTML5. Pretty good sales pitch. If it's working pretty well for me, might be worth a try for you, am I right? Lag looks bad. It's not doing anything on my screen. When I zoom in and out, there's a little bit of a lag spike. But it's not that bad. Accidentally ran over an Alice cruiser here. Alice carrier. Not the best thing. There was a small lag spike right there where my drone spawned. But it shouldn't be as bad as the 508 target. Oh god, I hope that's not what the 408, I hope that's not really the 508 in disguise. Or the 908 rather. That was ridiculous. Quality's going down. I didn't change anything. Well, last thing's down on this target, and let's see if there's anything else. See what kind of damage we took from here. I'm still loading this thing in fairly well on my second monitor here. Let's see, damage taking, even corrosive and penetrative. 29 minutes damage on this target, so not instant repair. I'm not going to bother instant repair. I'm going to do a quick check on the stream health and then get back to the 408 target. Well, okay, I checked everything on my end, and it appears it's in excellent condition with 1.1% dropped frames, so whatever issue is, it doesn't appear to be on my end. In that case, let's go hit a 4-weight target, the Zealot target, not the Zelos, usually say that sometimes. This is the last one needed for the A set, although again, I would recommend just hit the level 80, 82, whichever one's easiest, because this one will probably be much more difficult than it is worth. Let's see here, and after this, the Mutineers are coming out. Okay, we have seen this target before. I am at 30 minutes damage starting out. I'm going to try and kill the Alice carriers with my drones and see if I can snipe those off before they get at me, if I feel I have the patience for that. Turns out I don't. Okay. A couple 3 blasts from this thing will kill it, and the difficult part is that you are not at frenzy stacks at the beginning of the target, so you're taking full damage from these weapons. And there is damage from Alice carriers that are completely unavoidable, so that's that kind of sucks. Okay, target the purple building, turn around in circles, kill the Halo missiles. Here we go. Bam. Dodge everything. The Warbird carriers are not active. Once they are, it gets a little bit more difficult. See if I can kill these Halo missiles without activating the Warbird. Ah, it activated. Okay, drones are incoming. My drones are going to kill their drones. Look at that. That means I save a volley of damage from 5 of those things. Save damage on all 5 ships. Okay, here we go. The Alice carrier, couple shots. Take this thing down. And bam, bam. Perfect. Alice carriers incoming. Stay at max frenzy if you can. Kill that little retrofit lab. Stay up there. Halo missiles on the left side. I would rather only have one thing shooting at me at a time. This target is not as I thought this thing was going to be like the 908 target, but it's an old 500 level 1, not a, if I remember correctly. This was a very doable target from the raid this was in. It was not instant repair, and you had a lot more lag in that target, but it worked pretty nicely. Look at that, the spotlights aren't moving around too much. They're staying fixed position relevant to the fleet. That's what we like to see. A lot easier to control, a lot easier to figure out. Okay, oh. Took some Absolver scattergun damage. Okay, I'm going to kill the Alice carrier, move on to the left side of the target. I can ignore the Sentinel that does nothing. Kill the Atlas carrier, spin in a circle, PT boats, then the Warbird. After the first Warbird is down, I had to kill the Halo missiles because I feel like it. Ignore the Valkyries if you can, and get to the other Warbird that's spawning PT boats the fastest so you take the least amount of damage. I did lose my frenzy stacks there, which is ouch. Try and creep forward here, kill an Absolver so you can kill the purple buildings and everything else is easier to go down. Great, got the center, got the core of the target here. We're in. Everything's melting, perfect, and full speed ahead. I ran over another one of those Alice carrier ships. Reminds me of the joke, what's blue, yellow, and painful? These targets. Okay, Mutineers are coming out after I finish this one. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get these down. Bull rush it. Bull in a China shop. Come on. If you are at max frenzy and you stay moving, you should take relatively little damage from these Absolvers. Just as an FYI, because you are, again, they're dumbfire, so you can avoid that pretty nicely. Valkyrie carriers, stay at max range because these things do hurt and they don't even fire if you're far out. And they're pretty easy to outrange. Couple shots here. Bam, bam, bam. Level 408 target is down. Now, I'm not going to hit another one of these things because I take about an hour damage, maybe half an hour damage. Not really worth it for the points. Apple Ducky, I was trying something with my Zealots, building a Garrison Zealot. That's explosive survival. That was an interesting one to try. Thanks, Paul. I worked on it from last cycle. Still not X1, though. Half an hour damage additional on that thing, so if you can get that down to 25 minutes damage, instant repair, might be worth it to do this target too. Okay, let's go find a Mutineer fleet. And I'm going to start the Zealots repairing because we'll be using them later for the last in the X target. Let's get my Mutineers out. Oh, I didn't even see you spelled that wrong. The real question is, what kind of skin do I use? Do I use the normal one? Do I use the black? This one looks pretty cool. The black one. This radical one looks like it's just blue and yellow vomit. The wipeout one's kind of nice. The lifeguard. And this is the Derpy the cow skin. It's red and black. So those are my colors, aren't they? I think this is my skin. Then the Rum Punch Mutineer. You know, we have to use this one. Sunblock. Another. You look like you got burnt. Come on. This one, I hit like 6 of these targets for it. I have to use this one, right? Now the build here, I guess I better talk about this. The 1st and 5th ship are built as evade ships, where they have this evade armor on here. These 3 plates of concussive evade armor, because I thought that was pretty helpful. Then everything else is mostly built like a damage ship. It's not quite fully fitted out here to the to all the armors with all the tokens from the raid. I might be able to do that. I don't want to upgrade. Stop. You want me to put on the lifeguard skin? Yeah, the Derpy the cow skin. That's what it is. Let's just leave him blank. And I did go... I don't want to refit. Stop clicking buttons. Who's in charge? I did want to go in here to get a crew going and not putting on a grease monkey crew or anything ridiculous like that. I don't even remember if I have one. I'm out of grease monkeys. I rolled all these salty dog crews to use for this raid because they do have these benefits for any Forsaken Hull. They reload as well as turn speed. So that should be helpful. Let's see. Let's find the 120. Let's zoom out too when I get in there to take a screenshot of this thing. The munitions escort. We have escorts in this game now. I know we have pirates, but escorts. I mean, come on, that's pretty good, isn't it? Come on. Targets 120. Now these things start to pay out like real significant points that you actually have to start hitting all the time. Now, I'm probably going to be able to just stick to the S sets, do those for close to instant repair, or go for the whole X set for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours damage. Looks like you should be able to take riots into these targets. Even though there's been some limiting ability to. Okay, let's press the down arrow. I don't want you going anywhere, ships. Okay, it's really hard to see these things. Looks like we have a couple ammo carriers moving around in a circle here. Some of these Juggernaut targets. That's as simple as it is, folks. No drones, nothing like that. If you want a screenshot of this target, grab it right now, because I'm going off. Okay, there's no real tactic with this thing. Maybe I have to zoom in for this too. Well, the tactic is try and stay close to the ammo carriers. Oh, they spawn drones? I was told they wouldn't spawn drones. What is this? I was told these things wouldn't spawn drones. Oh, they do spawn drones. They're just not healed by the battlecruiser. Because the battlecruiser doesn't exist in this target. Okay. Damage taken was mostly on ship 3 from that volley. I'm going to try and do something here where I kill the drones from far out. One launch to get the drones coming at me. Then another one right here to splash the ship. So I'm out of torpedo range. If I can splash the ship by just killing the drones right here, it should be instant repair. So these drones are going to spawn. I'm going to wait till they come into my range and then kill them. And hopefully avoid torpedo damage. Oh, but the torpedoes are still coming at me. Maybe I'm not far enough away. Do you see what I'm doing though? Too close again. Torpedoes have a slightly longer range than you do then. Is it worth it to do this? I think it is, because you can go really slow, don't take damage, splash kill everything. I can't tell. Because if you come at it right here, full face, you take damage from the torpedoes. Now, I waited too long, so all these ammo carriers are leaving. I don't want them leaving. Now, you also have to try and stay at max range of these drones, because they will shoot at you. If you do have your flagship at X1 already, you bought the limited time offer, which I guess probably isn't coming out till next raid, you'll be doing better. Okay, well, there's that down. Not a lot of damage on my ships, but again, I am being a little bit lazy right here. These ammo carriers are getting away from me. I should be killing it, either just outranging it, or killing it when it's close to the ammo carrier, so I steal the ammo and have my special black dot ability. See, this thing dies so much more quickly when you are in range of it. It's really easy. This is the auto target. Level 120 is the auto target. Ammo carriers have like a lot of health, but no real weapons. You can just ignore these things till the end, come back on auto. Useful to leave them up in case you ever need to use them to steal ammo from. I'm just going to go with the method where I get in range of this thing. And again, it's better to stay pointing at it, but you also need to stay at max range so that you don't get hit by the drones when they do spawn. Because you can splash kill them when they do spawn. Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about these targets. I mean, this one's a really boring basic one. I feel like it's missing something. I feel like there's something that should be here that isn't. Another type of holder too. Now, yeah, it's the auto one, but I don't know. This one seems kind of boring to me. Look at my health bar. It's not changing. Then come back, clean up the ammo ships. Now, the ammo transfer ring, I wish it was on the ship in actual visual. It's about 115 range, which is larger than your 90. So you can steal things from the ammo ships without actually having to be in range to shoot at them. No damage on ship 1. A tiny bit on ship 2. A little bit more on ship 3. Nothing on 4, and a whole bunch on 5. Interesting. Now 5 and 1 are built as my tanks, but it's really hard to tell what ships actually get shot at more often. It's not even, as you can see. I did turn particle effects off so that you don't see my criticals every time my weapons hit, because otherwise the enemy ship is just completely covered in criticals, which no one wants to see that. Yeah, they do have a short-range Gatling gun. That's something I figured out in the VXP week 1. But it does 0 damage. Super short range, just ignore it completely. Battle Report is all concussive damage, so explosive survival does literally nothing in this target because there's literally no explosive damage to mitigate. Only concussive matters for this one, which is why I have mostly concussive armor on my ships. 21 minutes damage, most on ship 5. Let's recall and see what things were actually instant repair, because I'm sort of interested by that one. 122 is a beast? Oh no. Well, the difference with the 122 is it has a battle cruiser, which I believe you had to kill originally at the very beginning, before everything else. Because otherwise you'll be hurt. Okay, we've been going for 50 minutes, a couple more targets to kill here. Okay, Mutineer, let's update. There we go. Now you think me removing it from that spot, it used to actually save the repair and it wouldn't exist. But when I put it back, it does have repair time. So it looks like ship 3 is about 5 minutes. Ship 5 is probably about 15. Okay, we can wait 15 seconds, but we can't wait 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, battle cruisers that run from you. You have 2 of them. With one, you can kill it fairly easily, right? Where you just come directly at it, so it's running at you. I'll have to get the layout of that thing. And Shiryo, ship 5 has a whole bunch of damage. I'm not going to repair that. So 14 minutes, 36 seconds damage on ship 5 before I enter the 122. Okay, 122, where are you? That's the 509. That's up next. No exclusive previews. 120 target seems boring. Damage is very reasonable. 14 minutes on a first try. And I did get hit by more torpedoes than I should have. So that seems very, very easy to complete. Let's try the 122 though. This is the driving target, so it will have explosive damage. We'll have the battle cruisers. And the angle you enter at does matter from this thing. So I'm probably going to do enter, zoom out, see the target, then retreat. Or am I? Let's move up, run away to the top left. Oh, so nothing's actually shooting at me yet. We have clouds. Oh god. What is this? Kixeye, what is your target? Why are they in the clouds? What are you doing? Are they driving in patterns? I don't like that. Well, these battle cruisers are gonna run this way, so I have to try and chase it down. I can't kill the Typhoon before the battle cruiser. Before I kill the battle cruiser, so I'm gonna have to retreat and enter on the right side of the target. Yeah, we have to retreat and enter on the right side so we can run through that path there. That's my plan on this thing. So about 3 o'clock. Enter here. That should reset the path. And if you wanted a screenshot, rewind and grab it. Okay, let's see here. 122. Okay, so I'm going to run through this gap, try and kill both of those things pretty quickly. If I'm in range of the everything to reload my special abilities, that's great, but I don't want to shoot at the ammo carriers yet. Click this guy. And if I slow him down with my... Oh, they're running at me? Where are you going? Where are you going? Why did you turn around? Got him. Hostile number 1 is down. Okay, hostile number 2. Slow him down with your special Mutineer ability. Hostile number 2 is down. Okay, all these explosive fields right here, these auras, they're explosive fields. You want to try to avoid those. Let's see if we can target the Typhoon and start killing that thing. Stay at max range. I'm not going to try the drone killing tactic on this thing. Just bring it down easily. Splash kill. 2 for 1 deal. It's a combo deal. You get that one down too. Bam. Okay, 2 Typhoons down. This is going to be a really quick target. This is going to be like the fastest target you ever seen. This last one, a couple shots off, turn around and run away. Because the drones are spawning. And I'm going to show you a mechanic. If the drones spawn and then you like let them come back at you and you kill them when they're far away from the ship, no more drones will spawn at all on the target. Okay, so if I kill these drones, they should stop spawning if they work how they did in VXP. And that means I can have the ship charge directly at me because range doesn't matter for this thing anymore. I'm inside the minimum range of these explosive things, it looks like. I can't tell. Okay, the last Typhoon, the last actual hostile is down. These other ships are more like neutrals. Can't quite auto the thing at this point because I don't know if I'm going to run to these explosive fields or the ammo carriers or anything like that. Let's see. There was no yellow fog in the VXP targets. That's the first thing that we've seen here. We have not seen the yellow fog before this. Interesting. This is an interesting target. It still feels basic, like it's missing something. So I'm not really sure what's the deal with that thing. I feel like there should be something else in these targets. Damage seems very reasonable. About the only technique you have to do is number one, kill the battlecruisers first, which you slow down with your Mutineer flagship. And I do have 4 ships at U1, which does help with speed a little bit. And technique number 2 is the potential using splash killing the Typhoons by targeting the drones. That's still needs to be worked out here. Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow. You should have all been taught that a while ago, right? Just don't eat the yellow snow. But I wasn't quite expecting 2 battlecruisers. Hit from 6. I hit from 3 and it worked really nicely. I got no damage. 3 o'clock was better because it could go through that entrance on the right. Look at that. Only concussive damage. That means explosive survival is useless in these targets if you drive correctly. That's fantastic. Concussive damage only. Went from 14 minutes damage up to 23. So for those of you who can't do math, that's 9 minutes damage from this target. That's fantastic. Let's repair and then hit the X set. 2 more targets to go. Thank you, Stefan. I'm trying. Or is it Stefan? Is it fancy Stefan? Stefan. I like Stefan. Do you have different specials? No, my specials are all the same on all the ships. This is the standard ship number 2, and then everything else is a variation. The flagship and 5th ship has more evade armor, and I have 6 cormorants on the entire fleet. Try and put those mostly on ships 1 and 5 if you can, although it doesn't matter. You can probably get away with as little as, say, 4 cormorants on the fleet. If I had the fleet armored, maybe, but like, the armor doesn't help that much. Upgrading to U2 helps out way more than just the armor. At least when you look at it. And my fleet's not fully armored. This ship that took a minute damage, it only has 1 armor plate. It's missing 3. So this would have been instant repair for that target. Yeah, 10 o'clock. Don't go in at 10 o'clock in these targets. You need to enter through some place you can kill the little battlecruiser devil things easily. Here's the 509. Let's zoom out in preparation. This will probably matter. I think it's going to matter where you enter from. I like the 122 more than the 120. It's much more engaging, much less boring, much less Typhoons too. Oh, this is big. What do we have here? I'll have to zoom out more for a screenshot. Okay, so we have a battlecruiser in the center of the target, one on the bottom, Typhoon on the top right, Typhoon on the bottom left, and more things on the bottom. Oh, this is confusing. So I want to kill the battlecruiser first. So I'm going to have to come in this way, circle around here, circle through the top. That's the plan. Bam, bam. And then, I have to charge down to the bottom too. It's going to be challenging. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Damage bar was a glitch in HTML5. You can see it is displaying now. I thought they fixed it. It might not even be updated in this battle. Come on. Oh, it got away from me. I'll come back. Come back. Where you go? No, come back. I missed it. I missed it. Oh, it's coming back. Come on. Okay, I got the black dot effect. That slows it down here. So they just all run around the middle of the target, and you can still kind of kill them with your... If you get really close, you can kill them more easily because there's less time to hit with projectile. Or if you slow it down so it's moving more slowly, you can hit it more easily and stay in range. Come on, where are you going? Where are you going? Get back here. Oh, explosive field. Stay away from that. Are you driving around randomly or do you have a pattern? Talk to me. Get him. Come on. Okay, battlecruiser number 3 is down. They do laps in the middle of the target. They are crazy. Okay, killing that top one. Come on, where are you going? Okay, there are drones spawning out of there. I need to make sure it's not charging at me too quickly, otherwise the drones will start shooting as they spawn. Ah, the ammo carrier's shooting at me. Come on. A lot of things going on in this target. Let's zoom in, see if we can get a little bit of an easier look. Okay, there's no ammo carriers in range here, are there? I'm gonna have to move up to the top of the target to get ammo carrier support. Or is it? It's just barely enough. Oh, it's right here at the top. Perfect. I have to zoom in enough to see what I'm shooting at it, but not too far out. Okay, you actually have to target the Typhoon in this case, or you'll just shoot at the ammo carrier. I can't tell if explosive things are hitting me or not. I can't tell if the splash kill method on the drones will work here too. Just too complicated to tell. Okay, I want to run through here and kill these two. I'm going to wait till they line up together. You can't see my hands, but I'm gesturing on my screen. They line up together about this spot. That can splash kill them both at the same time. And hopefully explosive damage doesn't punish me too much. Oh, that's a lot of torpedoes. Oh, that's a lot of torpedoes. I don't have enough anti-torpedoes for this. Oh no. It's going down. I got lots of lag. Are the clouds moving? The clouds are moving? Kixeye, what are you doing? Oh no. What's going on? Where'd the clouds go? Why are they moving? Who's in charge? They don't even make sense to move. They've never moved before in the past when we've seen these. And there's nothing interesting in the target left. So why would you do that now? And why only the ones on the outside? What the hell? And when does that happen? Does it happen when I kill the last Typhoon ship? And those last two I engaged on top of each other. That was not a good idea. And maybe the torpedoes had a longer range. I'll have to check back and see. And there was no ammo carrier support. Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. There is the only splash damage in these targets from the drones, which is avoidable, and the auras from the little rockets that they leave the fields on the map from. Oh, this was painful. Usami, that was embarrassing. Those two ships in the middle got me, and the clouds started moving, and my frames per second went down to 3. That hurt. Why is this cloud moving? Can I target it? No, I can't. Maybe if I fire at something that's in it, it will die. Nah, it's unlikely. Kixeye, whoever has moving clouds, when I said the target was boring and I want something else, that's not what I meant. I don't want the thing to just... Those are static. They're like the environment's polluted water. I guess the patches of pollution start drifting. Ooh. Oh. I took a lot of explosive damage. I think that was from the drones in this thing. From when I engaged 2 at once. That's what my guess is. Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Yeah, do not engage 2 Typhoons at once when they can both shoot at you at the same time. It worked in the 122, but not in the 508. Lots of damage. You can see ships 1 and 5 were clearly focused. So my evade build is paying off there. 1 and 5 are focused much more often. Let's go back to base, repair that, lick our wounds, and get the Zealot out again. Because we still haven't seen the last target. We have the X target. At the level 600 rogue Forsaken base. I'm not sure if that's not a good idea. I would rather have another ship or something, or a different setup. Why do you have moving clouds of pee? Moving clouds of piss in this target? I don't... It's confusing. It's complicated. It doesn't work well. I was not expecting that, and I was zooming in and out. We'll have to try that thing again, but be warned. Don't engage 2 typhoons at once, and the clouds of piss move around. Let's see here. Oh, the battle has started. No, it hasn't. I'm not there yet. Come on. Where are we at? Don't start without me. Oh, they started without me. This looks sort of like one we've seen before, doesn't it? I can't tell. Oh, I'm doing a bad job already. Let's refocus here. Kill the Valkyrie. Valkyrie if you can. Kill the Warbirds. This is a big target. I think I'll be sticking to the S set. The X set, the 500, 600 targets, I'm not going to bother with those things. Well, I probably will. I'll mess around with them till I can find a decent path. At least there's no incoming ships in this target that have another lag spike. Let's see. Ooh, Valkyrie. Avoid the Valkyrie. Kill the Warbird. .601. I had an hour damage before I started this thing. Let's see. I need to get back at max frenzy stacks before I can do anything decent here. Come on. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit further, see the whole thing, then zoom back in. So you have a center island here and then 4 different clusters that are all slightly different. The right side looks to be far weaker than everything else, so it's probably best to enter in the right side of the target, kill the Warbirds first. But hey, hindsight's 20/20. Couple blasts off here on the left side. Try to avoid taking damage from too many Halo missiles at once. Again, outrange the Valkyrie. I've been doing a pretty good job of that this raid so far. Couple of shots off. Valkyrie incoming from the bottom. Make sure to avoid those. 2 of them. Stay at max frenzy stacks if you can at all possible. And splash kill the drones. Oh, I took some damage from the Valkyrie there. You see that? Let's see. Target the pink buildings first, and then outrange the scatterguns. This is messy. You know, it's probably worth hitting this target with a remote raider screw on if you have one left. Just go out there, spend a couple days, hours, minutes, whatever. Couple targets, hit some of these things with that crew on. I don't have any left. And now you do need to complete this one, so you do need a Zealot fleet for the X set bonus, but the S set you don't. So the normal out of the top tier targets, it does matter. The tippy top one doesn't. Okay, back out on the core of the target here. Get my frenzy stack back up. That'd be great. There we go. Moving faster. Come on. Big circles. Stay moving in circles on this thing. The Absolver scatterguns can't hurt you. I'm calling them Absolver scatterguns. That's what I have on my ships, isn't it? Venom Spitter. Venom Spitter turrets. Well, I will be making more videos this raid as usual until I get the 120, 122 figured out for instant repair. Maybe even a couple more messing around with the 508 just to see what's going on with that thing. And the 601, yeah, this is one you want a lot of remote raiders on, if at all possible. You could use something else that would work decently. Always small crews, always small bonuses to help you out. And the new Everest is exciting. Everyone should try and redeem that today if possible. Start building blanks without using tokens first. And make sure you check tokens before you buy them. See what the cap is on those things. You can't overfill. Now this target might be worth it in points, might not. I had an hour damage already. Looks like a big another chunk from doing this thing. The first little bit on auto and not knowing where it's entering from. I would say enter from 430 on this target, the southeast corner of the map here. Yeah, I don't think that these things are co-op. That'd be a nice target to have co-op actually, but unfortunately it's not. Let's I didn't see the repair on that thing. Up to 2 hours 30 minutes. So an hour 30 minutes damage on that target. That's not horrible. That could come down pretty nicely, although not instant, which is what I personally want. I want perfect driving to be instant repair. So let's see, the C set, that was easy, recycled targets, whatever, fairly decent. The riot targets, I wish they were both more slightly auto-friendly, but that's the only complaint I have. Big complaint about the A set is that you don't get a larger set bonus, and that the 408 even exists there. Remove the 408, bump this to 200,000, then you'll be happy. Lower level players, if you only have zealots, hit the 80 target only on auto or driving. 82 if you want some variation or you do better on that one. The Mutineer targets, I find the 120 a little bit boring, a little bit simplistic. The 122 is much more exciting, more dynamic. Enter from about 3 o'clock for best results. Both of them should be around instant repair. You can try the method of splash killing drones by moving 100 range away from the hole and just shooting at the drones. That will be a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more effective. But if you can kill the typhoons really, really quickly, it shouldn't matter anyway. Here is the now the X set here. Not really worth it. You get like around double the points, but you take way more than double the damage until someone figures that out. Although if you do need some more drops here, it might be worth it for those. 509, pretty highly damaging. Clouds that move around. Not sure what else is there. I'm just gonna say thank you everyone for watching. I will be releasing more stuff in this raid here, so you know where to find my YouTube channel. You're already on here. There's a couple buttons you can click. You know what to do those. If you do enjoy this, enjoy the work I put into this, clicking that like button, that'd be helpful. But this is Derpy signing out, helping you be a better pirate.